My beloved child, I see you. I know the depths of your heart, the questions that stir in your mind, and the pain that weighs upon your soul. You're wondering, why does suffering exist? Why do I hurt? Where are you in the midst of my pain? My precious one, draw near to me now. Let me wrap you in my arms of love and speak tenderly to your heart. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I knit you together with loving care, weaving every fiber of your being with purpose and intention. Your life is no accident, my child. You are a masterpiece created in my image, infinitely valuable and deeply loved. I understand your struggle with suffering. It pains my heart to see you hurting. Know this: I never intended for pain and sorrow to be part of your world. When I created the Garden of Eden, it was a place of perfect harmony, joy, and peace. But with free will came the possibility of choosing against me, and sin entered the world, bringing with it all manner of suffering. Yet even in this fallen world, my love for you remains unchanging and eternal. I am not a distant God, watching your pain from afar. I am Emmanuel, God with you. In every tear you cry, every sleepless night, every moment of fear or doubt, I am there, holding you close to my heart. Remember, my child, that I too have known suffering. When I came to earth as Jesus, I experienced the full range of human emotions and pain. I wept at the tomb of Lazarus. I felt the sting of betrayal from those I loved. I endured the agony of the cross. I did this for you, my beloved, so that you would never have to face your struggles alone. You may wonder, if you love me, why don't you take away all my pain? Oh, how I long to shield you from every hurt. But know this: sometimes it's through the deepest valleys that we grow the most. Just as gold is refined by fire, your faith can be strengthened through trials. I don't cause your suffering, but I can use it to shape you, to deepen your compassion, to draw you closer to me. Think of a beautiful tapestry. From the back, it may look chaotic, a jumble of knots and tangled threads. But when you turn it over, you see the masterpiece. Your life is like that tapestry. From your limited perspective, the pain and struggles may seem senseless. But I see the full picture, and I am weaving something beautiful from every thread of your experience. My child, I want you to know that your pain is not punishment. It's not a sign of my absence or indifference. On the contrary, in your suffering, I am closer than ever. When your heart is breaking, mine breaks with you. When you feel weak, my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Remember the words I spoke through my servant Paul. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. In your moments of greatest vulnerability, that's when you can experience my love and power most profoundly. I see every tear you cry. I bottle them up, holding them as precious. Each one matters to me. When you feel alone in your pain, whisper my name. I am there, ready to comfort you, to hold you, to remind you of my unfailing love. There will come a day, my beloved, when all suffering will cease. I promise you a future where there will be no more tears, no more pain, no more sorrow. Until that day, let me be your refuge. Let my love be the balm for your wounds. Let my presence be your peace in the storm. In your darkest nights, remember I am the God who brings beauty from ashes, who turns mourning into dancing. Your suffering is not the end of your story. It's often the soil from which the most beautiful flowers of faith, hope, and love can bloom. My child, I want you to know that every moment of your pain matters to me. When you suffer, I suffer with you. I am not a distant observer, but a loving father who feels every hurt you feel. Just as a parent's heart breaks to see their child in pain, my heart breaks for you. But unlike earthly parents, I have the power to bring good out of even the most painful situations. Remember the story of Joseph in my word. His brothers sold him into slavery, and he endured years of hardship and injustice. But through it all, I was with him. What others meant for harm, I used for good, not just for Joseph, but for the salvation of many. Your story may not look exactly like Joseph's, but the principle remains. I can take the broken pieces of your life and create a beautiful mosaic of redemption. When you're tempted to doubt my love because of your suffering, I want you to remember the cross. There, my son Jesus took on the weight of all the world's pain and sin. He experienced the ultimate suffering so that you could have life, hope, and a future with me. The cross stands as an eternal testament to how far I will go to show you my love. My beloved, I know there are times when the pain feels too much to bear. In those moments, I invite you to pour out your heart to me. Don't hold back. I can handle your anger, your questions, your doubts. Look at the Psalms. They're filled with raw, honest cries of pain and confusion. Yet in the end, they always come back to trust in me. You can do the same. I'm not afraid of your big emotions or your hard questions. Bring them all to me. I want you to know that your suffering never goes unnoticed. Every sleepless night, every silent tear, every unspoken pain, I see it all. And more than that, I'm right there with you through it all. When you feel you can't take another step, I'm there to carry you. When the night seems endless, I'm there to whisper hope to your heart. When you feel utterly alone, I'm there, closer than your very breath. My child, suffering may be a part of your earthly journey, but it does not define you. You are defined by my love for you. You are my treasured possession, my beloved child, the apple of my eye. No amount of pain or hardship can ever change that. I want to remind you of a promise I made through my prophet Isaiah. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. Notice I didn't say, you pass through waters or fire, but when? I know you will face difficulties, but I promise to be with you through them all. In your suffering, don't forget to look for the small mercies I send your way each day. A beautiful sunset, a kind word from a friend, a moment of unexpected peace. These are all love notes from me to you. They're reminders that even in the darkest times, my light is still shining, my love is still active, my grace is still sufficient. My beloved, I want you to know that your pain is not wasted. Every tear, every struggle, every moment of suffering is being used to shape you into the person I created you to be. You are becoming more compassionate, more resilient, more dependent on me. And in that dependence, you're discovering a strength you never knew you had, my strength, perfect in your weakness. When you look at others who seem to have easier lives, Remember, everyone has their own battles, their own pain that you might not see. Instead of comparing your journey to theirs, focus on the unique path I have for you. Your story, with all its ups and downs, is being written by my loving hand. Trust the author, even when you don't understand the plot. I want to encourage you to reach out to others in their pain. Your experience of suffering uniquely equips you to comfort others. As you've received my comfort, you can now extend it to those around you. In doing so, you'll find a beautiful purpose emerging from your pain. Remember, my child, that suffering is not my final word for you. My final word is resurrection, redemption, restoration. Just as spring follows winter, joy will come after sorrow. I am in the business of making all things new, and that includes you and your story. In your moments of deepest pain, when you feel you can't go on, lean into me. Let my love be your strength. Let my promises be your hope. Let my presence be your peace. I am here, my child, always here, holding you close to my heart. Never forget how precious you are to me. If you were the only person in all of creation, I still would have sent my son to die for you. That's how valuable you are, how deeply you are loved. No amount of suffering can change that truth. As we come to the end of this time together, I want to leave you with this thought. Your suffering is temporary, but my love for you is eternal. Hold on to that truth in your darkest moments. Let it be an anchor for your soul. My beloved child, you are never alone in your pain. I am with you always, ready to comfort, to strengthen, to love. Come to me with your burdens. Rest in my presence. Let me fill you with my peace that passes all understanding. Remember, I am making all things new. One day, you will see the full tapestry of your life, and you'll understand how every thread, even the dark ones, contributed to the beautiful masterpiece. Until then, trust my heart when you can't trace my hand. I love you, my child, more than you could ever imagine. You are mine, and I am yours. Forever and always. Rest in that love now and always. Your loving Father, God.